Automation Arc brings you a journey back in time, into the heart of motorcycling history, where one motorcycle changed everything and built a new world for riders who dreamed of comfort, power, and long-distance adventure. That motorcycle is the legendary Honda Goldwing, and today we begin with the very first generation, the one that started it all, running from 1974 to 1979. The Honda Goldwing was not just another motorcycle, it was a revolution on two wheels. When it was introduced, no one had seen a bike that combined smooth performance, reliability, long-distance comfort, and sheer mechanical innovation in this way. It was like Honda had taken the dream of cross-country travel and turned it into a machine that made the dream come alive. Back in the early 1970s, Honda was already a big name in motorcycles. They had won hearts worldwide with smaller, reliable bikes like the Honda Cub, and they had impressed speed enthusiasts with machines like the CB750, which became famous as one of the first superbikes. But Honda wanted more. They wanted to show the world that a motorcycle could be more than just fast or affordable, it could also be luxurious, powerful, and built for endless journeys. At this time, touring motorcycles existed, but they were often heavy, uncomfortable, or unreliable on long trips. Riders had to make sacrifices if they wanted to ride across countries or spend days on the road. Honda looked at this gap and decided to create something brand new, something that would set a standard for decades to come. In 1974, Honda unveiled the GL1000, the very first Goldwing, and it instantly turned heads. The GL in its name stood for Grand Luxury, and it lived up to that promise. What made it so different was the engine. Instead of a traditional twin or inline-four that many bikes had at the time, Honda gave the Goldwing a flat-4, water-cooled engine. This was a huge innovation. The engine was mounted low and flat, which gave the bike incredible stability, smoothness, and balance. Riders who tried it immediately felt the difference. It was powerful, but it didn't shake or vibrate the way other motorcycles did. The Goldwing could cruise at high speeds with grace and calm, like a motorcycle built for endless highways. The displacement was 999 cc, and the engine was capable of delivering around 80 horsepower. That was a big deal for the mid-1970s, putting it in the league of performance machines while still focusing on smoothness. The water cooling kept temperatures stable, which meant long rides were safer for the engine. Reliability became one of the strongest points of the Goldwing, and Honda quickly earned a reputation for making a bike that could go on and on without breaking down. The Goldwing also featured shaft drive, something rare for motorcycles back then. Most bikes had chains that required frequent adjustment and maintenance. The shaft drive on the Goldwing reduced maintenance and kept the ride smooth, quiet, and clean. For touring riders, this was a blessing. Less time fixing and cleaning meant more time enjoying the open road. The design of the first-generation Goldwing was elegant and purposeful. It didn't come with big fairings, windscreens, or saddlebags at first. Instead, it was a naked touring bike, with clean lines, a long seat, and a simple but striking look. Honda believed riders would customize the bike to their own needs, so many early Goldwings were fitted with aftermarket accessories like Vetter fairings, luggage boxes, and windscreens. This freedom gave each Goldwing a unique personality, while the base machine remained rock-solid and reliable. One of the most impressive things about the early Goldwing was its fuel system. It had 4 carburetors, one for each cylinder, which allowed precise fueling and smooth throttle response. Combined with the flat-4 engine, the result was a ride unlike anything else available in the mid-70s. Riders could cruise at highway speeds effortlessly, without the strain and noise that other bikes produced. Long-distance comfort was finally possible, not just for the rider but also for the passenger, as the long seat and balanced suspension provided a plush experience. The Goldwing also featured a unique storage solution right from the start. Instead of a fuel tank at the top, what looked like a tank was actually a storage compartment and the fuel was located under the seat. This false tank gave riders easy access to tools, documents, or small items they needed on a journey. It was practical, clever, and another example of Honda thinking differently. From 1974 to 1979, the first-generation Goldwing grew in reputation and love. Riders began to see it not just as a motorcycle but as a reliable companion for adventure. In America, where long highways stretch across states, the Goldwing became a favorite. Clubs and communities formed around it, and the Goldwing quickly earned a loyal following. People realized that this was not just a machine, it was a lifestyle. The early years saw continuous improvements. Honda listened to riders and made small but important upgrades. The suspension was refined, braking systems improved, and options for customization grew. By the late 1970s, the Goldwing had firmly established itself as the king of touring motorcycles. Competitors tried to catch up, but Honda's formula of smooth power, reliability, and comfort was unmatched. What also made the Goldwing special was its cultural impact. For many riders, buying a Goldwing was not just about owning a bike, it was about joining a family. The bike represented freedom, stability, and confidence on the road. Couples started traveling together on Goldwings, enjoying comfort that was rare on motorcycles before this. Suddenly, touring wasn't just for the hardcore, it was accessible to everyday riders who wanted to see the country. By 1979, the first-generation Goldwing had already set the foundation for what would become an iconic line of motorcycles that continues even today. From the flat-4 engine, shaft drive, and water cooling to its long-distance comfort and innovative design, the original Goldwing proved that motorcycles could be both powerful and practical, fun and comfortable, reliable and exciting. It was the motorcycle that made touring not just a possibility but a pleasure. The first-generation Honda Goldwing is remembered today as the pioneer, the bike that created an entire category. It was the motorcycle that showed the world how far you could go, how comfortable the ride could be, and how dependable a machine could feel under you mile after mile. It set a golden standard, and its legacy still shines brightly decades later. Automation Arc takes you deeper into the fascinating journey of the Honda Goldwing, the machine that began its life in the mid-1970s and forever changed how riders saw motorcycles. After the release of the GL 1000 in 1974, the Goldwing quickly gained a reputation as one of the most advanced and dependable touring bikes of its time. What set it apart was not just the technology, but the way it spoke to riders who wanted more than a daily commuter or a weekend cruiser. This was a bike that said, "Pack your bags, let's go across the country," and it meant it. The Honda Goldwing's first years on the road were filled with admiration. Riders were surprised at how refined it felt compared to other motorcycles. The flat-4 engine wasn't just powerful, it was also smooth, quiet, and balanced. Unlike many other motorcycles of that era, where vibration was part of the ride, the Goldwing gave riders a calm and stable feeling, even at high speeds. Long hours on the highway no longer felt like a chore. Riders could cover hundreds of miles in a single day and still step off the bike without being exhausted. This comfort factor was groundbreaking. Honda's engineers had done something remarkable. They took inspiration from car engineering and applied it to motorcycles. The water-cooled flat-4 engine was something you'd expect in a small car, not on a motorcycle. The shaft drive, again more common in cars, gave a sense of smoothness and durability. These choices showed Honda's commitment to building a machine that was different, that dared to break traditions. For many, the Goldwing felt like a motorcycle ahead of its time. The naked design of the first Goldwing is something riders still talk about today. Without a factory-installed fairing or saddlebags, the bike had a clean, muscular look. You could see the engine proudly displayed, with its horizontally opposed cylinders jutting out slightly from each side. The false tank gave it a unique silhouette. When you parked a Goldwing next to other bikes, it stood out, not just because of size, but because of its refined details and futuristic engineering. But while Honda sold the Goldwing as a naked tourer, many riders wanted more wind protection and luggage space for their long trips. This is where the aftermarket industry stepped in, especially in the United States. Companies like Vetter created fairings, windshields, and luggage systems specifically for the Goldwing. Riders customized their bikes with tall windscreens, hard saddlebags, and top cases, turning the already comfortable machine into a true long-distance luxury tourer. This mix of Honda's reliability and the rider's ability to personalize the bike gave birth to a culture. Goldwing owners weren't just buying motorcycles, they were creating adventure machines that fit their personalities. By the mid-70s, the Goldwing had already earned a reputation for being one of the best highway cruisers. Its large engine size for the time, combined with stable handling, meant it could keep up with traffic easily, whether on city streets or wide-open highways. Riders began taking Goldwings on coast-to-coast journeys across the United States, across Europe, and even around the world. Suddenly, the idea of traveling thousands of miles on a motorcycle didn't seem so difficult, it seemed inviting. One of the most loved features of the early Goldwing was its comfort for two. Many motorcycles before it were fun for the rider but left passengers cramped and uncomfortable. Honda gave the Goldwing a long, wide seat, allowing both rider and passenger to relax. Suspension was tuned for stability and comfort, making long rides smoother. Couples started touring together, discovering the joy of sharing the open road on a bike that felt built for them. The Goldwing quickly became known as a family-friendly touring motorcycle, something rare at that time. In terms of performance, the Goldwing GL1000 could reach speeds of over 120 miles per hour, which was very impressive in the 1970s. But more than top speed, it was the effortless cruising ability that made it shine. The engine delivered power in a calm and steady way, perfect for highways. Riders didn't need to push it hard, it seemed to glide naturally at high speeds. This relaxed performance was exactly what long-distance riders wanted. The frame of the Goldwing was strong and stable, capable of handling the weight of the engine, the rider, the passenger, and all the luggage. Braking power came from dual front disc brakes, another advanced feature at the time. Many motorcycles still had drum brakes, but Honda gave the Goldwing more modern stopping power. Safety and confidence on the road became another reason why riders fell in love with this machine. As the years passed, Honda continued to refine the GL1000. By 1976, 1977, and 1978, the bike received small updates to improve reliability and rider experience. Honda introduced new colors, improved parts, and even adjusted carburation and ignition for smoother performance. Riders appreciated these changes because they showed Honda was listening. The Goldwing was already excellent, but Honda kept making it better. By 1979, the last year of the first generation, the Goldwing had matured into an icon. Its fan base was strong, and its reputation unshakable. Riders across the world recognized it as the ultimate long-distance motorcycle. It wasn't just about specs, it was about the feeling. Riding a Goldwing gave a sense of security and pride. You knew the bike wouldn't let you down, no matter how far you traveled. The cultural impact of the first Goldwing cannot be overstated. In the United States, Honda dealerships began to see Goldwing riders forming clubs and communities. Goldwing Road Riders Association, or GWRRA, would later become one of the largest motorcycle organizations in the world, uniting people through their love for this legendary machine. Gatherings, rallies, and long tours became common, and everywhere you looked, Goldwings were at the center of it all. The first generation also opened the door for Honda to expand the Goldwing line in the future. The success of the GL1000 proved there was a market for luxury touring motorcycles. Competitors took notice, but Honda had the lead. They had built a motorcycle that was not just about power, but about lifestyle. Riders who owned a Goldwing often kept it for many years, passing it down to family members or holding onto it as a cherished memory of their adventures. Collectors today still admire the first-generation Goldwing. Its clean design, engineering brilliance, and historical importance make it a sought-after classic. Restored models shine in motorcycle shows, and many are still on the road, proving just how reliable they were. A well-kept Goldwing from the 1970s can still cover thousands of miles with ease, a true testament to Honda's engineering. The 1974-1979 Honda Goldwing was more than a motorcycle, it was a movement. It created a new category, inspired riders to travel further, and built a community that still thrives today. Every Goldwing that came after owes its DNA to this first-generation pioneer, the GL1000. It is remembered as the bike that turned motorcycling into a luxurious adventure and gave riders the power and comfort they had been dreaming of.